Welcome to Land Speed Legends, a podcast talking to the men, the women, the legends that make land speed racing great. Discover the stories of these ordinary people whose passion for land speed racing has made them legendary. And now, here's your host, the Bonneville Belle, the High Boy Honey, the Salt Princess, Allison Volk Dean.
Today with me is the legendary Anita Strasburg. She grew up in Oklahoma and Texas and grew up watching drag racing with her dad, Don Pullman. In the early 2000s, she started drag racing an 86 Chevy truck in her Super Pro class. She moved on to Altereds and eventually moved on to Top Dragster, pushing speeds of 212 miles per hour. She made her first trip to Bonneville in 2012 and was hooked. In 2019, she got her unlimited license, and in 2021, she gained entry into the 300-mile-an-hour chapter of the 200-mile-an-hour club at 361 miles per hour, driving the family's blown fuel Lakester. She also competes in the NHRA circuit, driving a Top Dragster, where she has won back-to-back championships in the Midwest Drag Racing Series. Hang on, this should be as incredible as watching someone pedal a 300-mile-an-hour car for 5 miles. So I say that because everybody in our pits loves to watch you drive.
Oh, really?
Yes, they just love. They're like, especially Shane. He's just like, she just pedals that thing the whole way down. It's just amazing. So
well, the 19 was wet.
Yeah, no, it was, and you knew how to drive that thing, and it was fun to watch. It is fun to watch.
Yeah,
so
it was kind of scary though, because I didn't know exactly what to do, and then I was like, just drive it like you would if you were on the snow.
yeah, and you did great.
Yeah.
So
it was fun.
And everyone in our pits always enjoys watching you go down. So, but yeah, you grew up drag racing or watching drag racing with your dad, and then you guys was your dad. He was a spectator, but eventually moved on to drag racing.
Yes.
So, how old were you when you first started drag racing?
When I actually started, I was an adult. It was in early 2000s when Dad and I got the truck.
Yeah. But before that you were just spectating. Purely spectating. So you guys are like, we're going to get into this. And you got in a truck and you said it was an 86 Chevy.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And it went, 13 seconds at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, just all you had to wear was a long sleeve shirt and your seatbelt.
Fun.
Yeah.
That sounds like a perfect start to get into drag racing.
It was a lot of fun.
So how long did you do that for?
I only drove the truck for a couple of years.
Okay.
And then Dad drove it.
Okay.
And then I got a 32 Bantam altered and ran a 32 Bantam altered. And it was a handful.
Oh, yeah.
A handful.
I was telling you, I love watching the Altereds. I think everybody does. They're fun to watch because they're a handful.
Yeah, they're a handful. I mean, it would pull wheelies. It just kind of had a mind of its own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so how fast did you go in that car?
It was, I can't even really remember. We would qualify about halfway through the 32 car field. So it'd be low sevens, high sixes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In the quarter mile.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a long 7 seconds.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and then you have a twin sister who also, was she driving at this time too?
Yes.
So you guys both kind of started at the same time?
She did a couple of years before I did.
Okay.
Jim, her husband, actually has been doing it since he was in high school.
Okay, so he kind of had the setup.
Yep. So then when they got together, we all started getting race cars.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was
fun.
Yeah. So
that's kind of what push you guys into it a little bit more when
to become drivers instead of spectators.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun. And so, but you didn't stay. How long did you drive those Altereds for?
Goodness gracious, we had them for 5 or 6 years.
Okay, so you were racing that for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, and then we got then I got my purple dragster, and we'd run about 212 miles an hour on that one. And
that's a Top Dragster.
And it was a Top Dragster, yeah.
Okay. And what did you have? Like, what were you running? Like, what engine did you have in there? What?
It was the 632, right? Yeah,
Okay.
it was a 632 Chevy.
Okay, cool. And
we had everything on it. We had single carburetors, double carburetors. We had nitrous. We had EFI. We
tried it all.
We did, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so, what was your top? Did you guys have success in that then?
We would win. We ran, and I would win like in Grand Junction, I would win a couple races here and there, but yeah. So it was, go rounds and
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is this the why not racing? Is that you guys at that time?
Yes.
Okay. So, but you didn't get together with Jeff yet at this time when you were racing the purple one?
Towards the end.
But at the beginning you weren't.
Not at the beginning. Yeah.
Okay. And so how many years did you race that for, did you say?
How many years did I have that? I just got the blue car I just got. So just a couple of years ago.
So until a couple of years ago, you've been racing that.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think I love it. I love that you two sisters drag racing and you guys are successful and you have fun, it sounds like. And
it's a huge family thing.
Yeah.
All of us out there together, we're all it's all family. And that's part of what she likes about like the boys doing her car, working on her cars, because it's another family that has just like been brought into our family.
Right. So now you guys are two big families.
Now we're two big families,
working out there together. So the Strasburgs, you guys so her husband is he working on her car too at this time at your sister's?
No, he drives. He's always driven his own car.
Oh, he's always driven his own car. And then you guys had
Then we have our cars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys had 3 cars that you were racing under the like why not racing, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. Me, Annie, and then Jim. And then there was some couple other friends that would join in and put our stickers on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And then, but you meet Jeff and you guys, I guess he said you met in the 2019. You guys started. Well, I'm sure you knew him before, but
yes, we've known it since 2000. He actually helped Jim with Jim's top alcohol dragster.
Okay. Yeah.
In 2006 is about when we met Jeff and his family. That's when I did.
Yeah.
I don't know how long Jim had known him.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure just through all the racing.
Yeah.
But so you meet him and he decides it was 2019, which was the season was over, he said?
No, 2011.
Oh, 2011. Okay.
Yeah, when the season was.
Oh, and that's right. And 2019 is when you start running. Okay, so 2012, you go out there for your first time.
To the Bonneville Soft Flats, yes.
Yeah, to the Bonneville Soft Flats. And so tell me about it, because you said you were hooked, but like what was your experience going out there for the first time?
It was such a different world. It was so drag racing between a national event and a divisional event is a big difference in the way they're ran and the way, like a divisional is way more laid back than a national event. But then you go out there and it's a whole new level of just laid back. Everybody just enjoying themselves. Everybody on their own time schedule. I mean, there was no like rush. There was no hurry. There was no, it was really neat. And then just how big it was.
You didn't realize?
Yeah, I didn't realize how big actually it was out there.
Yeah. Like the actual salt flats or the meat?
All of it.
All of it.
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah, it's pretty expansive.
It is.
And then, and I think people don't realize how many people are actually there.
That are there, and then the different trailers and the different cars and just the things that people will drive around in the pit as their pit vehicle. I mean, one year we seen a boat.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, had a couple guys in there having a good old time. Just cruising around. Yeah.
So funny. Yeah, it is. It is its own little world and its own little type of racing. But drag racing. Oh, you're fine.
That's my phone.
That's okay. Drag racing and like I said, it's just, don't worry, it's no stress on this podcast. Phones go off, alarms go off.
All right.
But I think drag racing and Bonneville racing are very, very connected, even like the starts of it, because you have Wally Parks is, very involved in getting Bonneville going. And so there is a real connection between those two. And I think a pretty strong crossover, it seems like, of drag racing and Bonneville.
It is, but it's so different. It is. There's a lot of like me being able to go from my dragster into the Lakester, which is just a bigger dragster, probably made it way easier on me than if I was to go like from my dragster to a car. Yeah. To a shorter wheelbase thing.
Yeah.
Made it a little easier on me to do that than doing something completely different.
Yeah, because it's similar.
And they handle the same. You kind of have the same concept, the same, how do you drive them? You don't really drive them. You kind of guide them.
Yeah.
Kind of concept.
Yeah.
Now, like, see, Annie, she's got the short wheelbase funny car, and she can manhandle hers, but you can't manhandle a dragster.
Yeah. Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those kind of things. So, yeah. So I think that helped me a lot. being able to get out there
and having just that similar style of car.
Yeah.
So you started racing in 2019 at the Salt Flats.
Yes.
Okay. And so that's the year that you get your unlimited license. And then what happened in between then and like when you got your record? There was a few things that happened. It seemed like I'm trying to remember.
They did. Yeah, we did have a couple things that happened. We had we were close on a couple of them. We got really close to it. They said that I was too much of a drag racer. I was tearing the tires up right off the head. And so by the end of the run, the tires would be shredded. But we were just within 1 or 2 miles an hour of qualifying for the record multiple times.
Yeah.
And then that was that the same year in 20 that we blew up. Yeah, we blew it up, and when it blew up, it blew all the panels out of the car.
I remember that.
Caught on fire and blew all the panels out of the car.
Yes,
Yeah,
I remember
that was a little
that.
crazy.
Yeah.
And it was crazier when I got out and seen the damage than it felt in the car.
Oh, really? It
Yes.
didn't feel as bad. You're like, wait, that's way worse than I thought.
It was way worse than I thought it was. Because, I mean, yeah, there was a noise. Yeah, it didn't feel right, so I just shut it down, and then I was just cruising. Then all of a sudden, I could actually hear the fire.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Oh,
So then I'm hurrying up trying to get it stopped, and I jumped up and I looked out and I was shocked.
oh, shoot. It's
Yeah.
much better the other way around when you think it's bad and
Right.
it's not as bad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But you get out. Yeah. I remember seeing those panels, and I remember that it was a big deal.
Yeah, it was a little crazy.
Yeah.
Everybody
and I
kept
think I
asking-
remember hearing it blow. Like it was loud. Like
And seeing it wasn't that loud in the car.
Yeah, I'm starting to remember it now.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I do remember all that. Yeah, it wasn't loud in the car.
No.
Huh? That's crazy.
I knew something was wrong. I knew
Yeah,
it wasn't
yeah.
right, but it wasn't like loud like Lindsay explained it, when he was standing on the starting line and it happened.
It was loud.
Yeah.
That's funny that you didn't hear it in there. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're the closest person to it.
I know. Yeah.
Must be the way it travels or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so then you guys come back and you obviously get things fixed, and you come back in 2021. And so what meet did you set the record at? Do you
World of
remember?
Speed?
World of Speed. So did you
Speed
guys?
Week.
Oh, you guys did it Speed Week. So
Yeah.
it was the first meet. So, yeah. And then, okay, yeah, this is 2021. This was a crazy year. Okay. So I'm trying to think like why we didn't have we don't have a banquet. And because you were at the banquet last year, this last one that we had, this is when you got your recognition for it, right?
No, it was the same year.
You went in 2020. I thought it was this year that you went to the
No, it was the
banquet.
same year because Jeff told me I was going to have to speak. We were going to go to the banquet, but I wasn't going to have to speak.
Maybe it was, okay, it was.
Yeah, because they will recognize you at the next one, not at this one, is what he had told me. Yeah.
Okay.
And then they called me up there anyway.
Oh, I remember. Okay, yeah. So you set the record, and what was that like for you to get that record? Was it a fairly easy run? Like once you got past that part, you didn't have any problems that meet.
Yeah, no, we didn't have any at all. Actually, they'd taken the big wing off the car. And Mike came to me
remember all this.
Mike come to me and he said, okay, he says, you've never driven the car without the wing. And I said, okay. And he says, so if you don't like the way it feels, he says, just get out of it, pull over. He says, we'll put the wing on it and we'll get back in line. And I said, okay. So I got in it and I went, and we ran 361 back to back.
Yeah. Awesome.
So it went down and ran. So the very first run out, not even for sure if I was going to like the way the car felt.
Yeah. How did it feel without the wing?
It was fine.
It didn't. You couldn't really tell a big difference.
No, not
That's
a real big difference.
interesting.
That car, Mike told me when I was getting my license that car, it's funny because they were holding me back speed-wise as I was working up to my license. So Mike kept telling me, when you're able to just go ahead and go, he said, this car will hunker down and you will feel it. He says, it'll just hunker down and you'll feel it. It'll settle down. It'll quit being squirrely and it will go. And I thought he was crazy because as squirrely as it was at 200 miles an hour, how is it going to be more stable at 300 miles an hour? But he was right. You actually, at one point, you actually feel it settle down and go.
I think the Roadster that I drove, it didn't like a certain speed, and then when it was like the low 200s it didn't like, and then once you got like past 215, it was like
here we go.
Yeah, it was fine, and yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah, and then it's funny because there's such a little window in the Roadster or in the Lakester.
Yeah.
That I was scared to death I wasn't going to be able to see nothing.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what you actually do see.
Yeah.
Out there.
Yeah. well, you just get clarity when you're driving too. It's kind of weird.
It is. Yeah.
And yeah, because and we were talking about that we both had to have like booster seats made for us to to get in the car. Just we're both like 5'2", so it is special precautions are taken. So we can see.
Everybody has to like move the steering wheel, move the all kinds of the. I don't know how many inches did you guys move the
about a foot. The steering wheel, or the pedals.
Pedals. They had to move the pedals up about a foot. Yeah,
that sounds about right.
Yeah,
it's a tall person's world. We're just living in it.
There you go.
So you're the first girl that I've woman that I've interviewed that is in the 300-mile-an-hour chapter. So you're my fastest lady so far to interview. But what was the record that you set?
It was 361 miles at 361. Yeah, something.
361.
Yeah,
you just cruised over the 200 and went for the 300 chapter. Yeah.
But I did ask for both hats.
I love it. That's a good girl. I love that. I like when 300-mile-an-hour people wear their red hats.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, wait.
Yeah, good. That's awesome.
I just got cheated out of a hat.
Well, that's great because then you understand. You understand what it is and what the 2 Club is. And that it's the 2 Club and the 300-mile-an-hour chapter of the 2 Club. And a lot of people don't understand that.
They don't.
Yeah. So that's awesome.
And it's kind of cool to be in it with my husband.
Oh, yeah. It's my husband's in it. We're a couple and married couple. There's not very many of them that are. I can think of maybe a handful of people that are married and in the club together. Yeah. But how many 3 chapters are there in the? I think I can think of one. I think the Hammonds.
And then us. I think.
Yeah, that's all I can think of. Yeah. And if I'm missing someone, I'm sorry, but. But yeah.
Can you think of anyone else? No.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are even a next level.
Right.
Well,
and then I think someone told me, and I don't know how true it is, that I'm actually the fastest woman record holder on the salt.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
That could very well. 361 miles an hour is pretty fast.
Yeah.
So that could easily be the case. I'm trying to think of anyone else, but I'd have to look, but that's probably true. Somebody told you that.
I was
She's pointing to Jeff.
And then this year, he was going to let me go try and go faster than his record.
Oh, so is he going to let you?
Well, we got rained out, so he's still deciding whether it's my turn to run again or if it's his turn to run this next year.
I give you the faster record. I'm faster than my husband. I can at least say that.
Yeah,
my record is.
He won't run a quarter mile though.
Oh, yeah.
He won't get in the dragster and run a quarter mile.
Yeah. So there, you got that on him.
Yep.
So do you think your sister would ever come out and want to drive or do anything like that?
I think if she ever did come out and actually got in the car, even if she just like took off and putted down the thing, I think she'd be hooked too.
Yeah.
I really do.
Because I'll tell you something. I know
her and my brother-in-law both.
There's no sisters in the club together.
Oh, really?
There you go.
Yeah.
We like our little unique things out there.
Yeah. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of any sisters that are in the club together.
I don't think she can I don't think the concept of what it really is out there. And
don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think if she ever came out and if they just told her, here, just go. And she'd go faster than she thought she would go too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Get her out here.
I know. We need to.
And see. Where does she live at?
Grand Junction, Colorado.
Oh, she's not that far away.
No, but every year that they've planned on coming, something's come up that they get. Yeah.
Maybe this year.
Hopefully. Yeah. And then last year it rained out. So.
Yeah. That was a bummer.
Yeah.
So that is your, that's your plans for, that you don't know whether you guys are going to race. Who's going to race next?
I think I still am.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get that fast record.
Yeah. Because we actually had 2 motors ready this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And now they're probably still ready. So
they are. All we got to do was warm up once on a Thursday.
Yeah. Nothing else to do. But
nope.
So, yeah. And then you guys are racing, right? So and then that's, what are you doing racing right now? Like, what is the
schedule?
Yeah. Or I don't even think we talked about what you're racing right now. We talked about your purple car. But
I have a Hemi blown top dragster.
Okay. So you're still racing the top dragster class.
Yep. The top dragster class with the different car. And we ran 250 miles an hour and a quarter in that one.
Yeah. And do you have any, like, is that just what your future plans are for racing, drag racing, is just to keep doing the
I'll keep
the
that.
the top dragster, sorry.
Yep. I'll do the top dragster. And then for the salt flats, then we'll make him let me run again.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, is there anything else that you can think of that we haven't talked about?
Not that I can think of.
I just love that you're like at heart a Bonneville girl, even though you didn't grow up doing it, or that you didn't, but you can tell it's definitely part of you now. So I love that.
Yeah. And it was kind of cool because these guys, I gave him a hard time when he got his 373 mile an hour record, that I just want to go 374. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. And then that following year, he was like, okay, he says, you're getting in the car. And I'm like, what?
Really?
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
And I do love that about it, that everyone kind of gets a turn, can race. And, the goal is to kind of get everyone in there, get a hat and take, everyone takes a turn.
Everyone takes a turn.
Yeah. So I took my turn and I got way back in the line. I was way back.
Were you way in the back of the line?
Yeah. I haven't even moved forward at all.
You're not getting back in anytime soon.
I might get in the Corvette.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. And probably the Roadster is, that's a long line. But maybe the Corvette.
That's what he keeps saying. She doesn't understand how to take turns. She's been in it since 19. She hasn't given it up since.
No. No, I love Bonneville. I love Land Rover speed racing, and
it's different. It's fun. It's actually, it's kind of crazy to go. I think it's almost more exciting to be able to go the full 5 miles than just a quarter mile.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, on my last run, my record run, they just told me to go the 4 mile, and I knew it was going to be a long time, so I just went that extra mile. I went to the 5 mile.
I'm doing the whole thing.
I get 1 more mile in there.
Yep.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
But but I do love drag racing too. It's something that I've always loved watching.
Yeah,
and
it's fun.
Yeah, I think what you guys do sounds like a lot of fun.
It's a big family too.
Yeah,
it's kind of like it is out at the Salt Flats or any kind of racing event that you go to. I think it just kind of develops its own families.
It does, and we pit right next to you guys when we're out there. I mean, we're not in the same pits, but we're just next door neighbors, and so I get to see all the fun things that are happening. And And did you get in the club before Monty died, or was it after he died? Did he was still alive?
No, it was the year. It was the first year, the first Salt Flats after he had passed.
Oh, shoot. I'm sure he would have liked to see that.
Yeah, because he would have, we were trying to get him to do the D-motor. If he would have stayed healthy enough, he would have ran with the D-motor.
Yeah. That would have been great.
The year before, he'd actually tried on all my gear to make, that way he'd have gear.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was small enough that he could fit in it.
Oh, shoot. So, I wish he would have been able to run it.
Yep.
But so is life.
I know, right?
But yeah, well, anyways, that was a good little interview, and you made it. You made it to 20. Everybody's always worried about making it 20 minutes. I'm like, 20 minutes is all you have to get.
It's not that bad, right?
No, it's not that bad. You're awesome. I appreciate it. So, well, we want to save our salt and keep people coming out to Bonneville. So we want you to go to SaveTheSalt.org, and your donation will help with acquiring funds that are going to be needed in order to accomplish the Salt Restoration Plan, which has the goal of pumping 206 million tons of salt byproduct from the south side of the freeway to the north side where the racetrack is. Thank you for listening to this Land Speed Legends episode, and please consider liking, sharing, and giving it a review. Also, don't forget to go to like my Facebook page and Instagram page under Land Speed Legends. Thanks again.
Thanks for listening to Land Speed Legends. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. In the meantime, keep up with the show on Facebook and Instagram under Land Speed Legends. Until next time.